Salinas is an embryo. It's in its infancy. It's always focused on its beachfront, and this is not for everybody. I want to caution you, if you don't speak any Spanish at all and you have no interest in learning, don't do this. I want to discourage you from doing this on your own and from being the first gringo in the barrio, in the neighborhood. We're giving you all the caveats, all the tips and tricks as they were handed down to me as a young boy living in third world, southern Italy in the 70s, early 70s. If you don't speak any Spanish at all, don't come way back here. I would say you need to stick around. And housing, it's in short supply. There's a short supply, and Salinas, it's always focused on the beachfront through the years. It's an art center. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Classes, $30 a month.
Classes, $30 a month, art class. That sounds good. I've always wanted to be. Commercial 250. How's it look? It looks clean.
Only 1030, hon.
Now let's come back here and check it out. But if you're not on a beachfront budget, you can do this. And you can stay close to the tourist areas, but not right in them. But I still want to encourage you to, I'm not going to use the N-word. And remember, it's just explaining. You're just explaining that you are not a tourist. If you're not a tourist, you want to live there year-round, then say so. Also explain that it follows that circle of reasoning that if you're not a tourist, you want to live year-round, you don't want to pay the tourist prices. So, and then see how they react. Now, if they just don't budge and want to charge you the same price, you can keep looking. You know, and you say the same spiel everywhere you go. And sooner or later, because like I said earlier, they want year-round, because the tourist dollar is short-term, very short-term. It's just a few months. And short-term people, they come in and leave, and then they got to clean the place. They actually make more money on the long term if you stick around. You know, at least a year. Americans don't really hate USA. What they hate, they have a feeling of anger because they feel as if their country has been stolen, and in a way it has. There's different degrees of that, no question about that. Everyone has their own line in the sand. Lots of lines are being crossed nowadays, especially in the last 10-20 years, even earlier, but really a lot worse the last 10-20 years. You decided you've had enough, but don't come down here and live like a tourist. Even if you're a millionaire, don't touch that dial, don't touch that mouse pad. If you're a millionaire, don't touch that mouse pad. Don't touch that mouse pad if you're a millionaire. I've got millionaire friends, I always have. Here's the thing about people with money. I used to be one. I did say used to. I know what that's like. You need friends, good friends. You know what I'm talking about, right? I won't go into detail. This is what I want to tell you. If you're a millionaire, still explain that you're not a tourist. You want to keep a low profile. We say that in all our writings, all our books. Keep a low profile, but you have certain standards you won't go under, and that's fine. I understand that. So this area is not for you. And understand that Salinas has a shortage of housing, so you may have to just suck it up. And I don't really like the term "suck it up." I don't even know, what does that mean? Suck up your gut, make yourself look skinny. You know, you may have to just pay the high prices of beachfront or close to beachfront. Although the difference between beachfront and close to beachfront is phenomenal. It's huge. Infrastructure is not as good here. The internet cuts out. To the extent that locals have never had anything different, right? Whenever I ask them if the internet cuts out, they don't know what I'm talking about because they don't know any different. They think it's normal. They're puzzled. They don't understand what I'm asking them. Does it cut out? What do you mean? That's normal. But I'm here to tell you it cuts out a lot. Worse than in Cuenca when we first got to Cuenca. Now I understand it's improving.
They have fiber optics in Salinas.
Yes, I know, but you have to make sure they can get it over to the place you're contemplating to rent.
Yeah, it's just in certain neighborhoods right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down this road.
Okay. It's hotter than a pizza oven. It's hotter than a pizza oven out
I
here.
love it.
Yeah, yeah. Look at it this way, right? We've done it my way for 5 years. I wanted to live in Cuenca. It's Angie's turn. I'm going kicking and screaming though. Not to her. Not to her. Combination of high altitude and dirty air is a big problem. High altitude on its own, even with clean air, is an issue. It's a challenge that people underestimate. The reason we underestimate this stuff is we've never done it before. When was the last time you lived at 300 feet? Okay, if you're from Colorado.
Well, they say if you're born in altitude, then you won't have a long-term effect. But if you're not born in altitude, some people can have issues.
They say that ignorance is bliss. That was probably a real estate salesman that said that. It's not true. It doesn't always apply. There's no historical foundation for believing that. You know, ignorance is not bliss. Oh, okay, so it looks like we're heading back closer. Just because the further away we get, the less we want to be there. It's already really chancy, and I'm trying to be kind here. It's already not what we're looking for. Just a few blocks further. So there's certain areas you gotta stick to.
This is the Italian neighborhood we're heading into. The expat
So,
family got robbed 3 times.
Okay, so those people that got robbed 3 times. Okay, look. People are not experienced travelers, and they don't have a background in this kind of stuff. I was born and raised in a third world country. So now I'm taking a risk here, taking the camera out, but I don't think it's okay. So why do you take risks? But people are not experienced. You're not going to Florida, folks. You're not going to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico or whatever they're called. This is a whole different nut to crack, okay? And travelers, you need to understand this. You don't just come down here and try to be first, just like that. And ignorance is not bliss when you're going abroad. It causes you all kinds of trouble and problems.
All right, the road ends right there.
Hostile Italian. Okay, well that's probably why it's called Italian neighborhood.
Yeah, this is the Italian neighborhood. I knew it.
Okay, so that family came in and got robbed 3 times in a row.
They opened the gate.
Going from, okay, you're opening the gate to strangers. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. These people probably lived in a subdivision before coming down here.
Well, they didn't lock it.
Who else opens the door to strangers? You don't do that, you don't do that. I don't care who's ringing, you don't answer the door because you don't know them. You were not expecting them, you don't know who they are. It's also a test. Let me tell you something. Okay, I would like to help you understand what it's like to be a trailblazer. Lewis and Clark. Some people say they had arrows in their backs. Believe it. Okay? When you're a trailblazer, you're trying to do things out of the box, right? You want to speak, okay, well let's branch out, go over here to get out of tourism, right? You gotta have all the cautions that we advise, right? So we've been doing this. Okay, we're gonna call this house here.
It's a flat roof.
Oh, it's a flat roof. Big problems with flat roof. In the long run, hold on a minute. It may be flat, but it might still have the roofing on it. Because ours is flat, but has no roofing because it's still under construction.
Does it have the bars on the front door?
Okay. So I was just trying to tell these viewers. Okay. Hopefully I'll remember. I'm gonna cut it off.